I want to play you a couple of videos. Let me play you a couple of videos. But my question is this the end of EFF or is this a new chapter of EFF? Comment below if you think this is the end of EFF or this is a new chapter of EFF.
Why are those who are known and popular to be the most vocal on social media suddenly silent? Why are their voices when our movement is under attack? Where are those loud voices? Why do they not use their platforms to speak in defense of the EFF if they are truly loyal to this movement?
Expect Buisen Rosie to be leaving very soon also. If he stays, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, guys. I think Buisen Rosie, he will be leaving the EFF.
How can someone say the decision to join Umkhonto weSizwe is the best decision ever taken, and my wife Mantra is the first one to like such a thing, and you say Julius Malema is with us, when the partner likes the things that seeks to denounce the organization and where the organization stands, where the relatives, where the cousins and siblings.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending what time you're watching this video. My name is Hlulani, the Tsonga Prince from South Africa. If it's the first time you watch this video, please kindly please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I know a lot of you are watching my content, but you're not subscribing. Please, guys, please subscribe. We need those extra subscribers. Let's this video take us to at least 3,000 subscribers. So guys, the topic of today, it's something that I hardly talk about, but I just said, let me jump into this because it's also related to what has been happening on the past few weeks, what we've been talking about. We know Julius Malema is a Pan-African. The question that I'm asking you guys, is this the end of EFF or is this the new chapter of EFF? Before I say what I think about the EFF, there's a couple of things that I like about the EFF. There's a couple of things that I don't like about the EFF. And it made me not vote for the EFF for a couple of things that made me not want to vote for EFF. I really like some of the things that the EFF stand for. But yeah, there's a couple of things that makes me to say, you know, and I know a lot of people, they will not compare DA and the EFF because they're completely two different parties. I agree to that, EFF and you cannot. But sometimes if you look at the policies, what are they fighting for? They could be similar. I might be wrong. Please correct me. I'm not saying I'm right. I can be totally wrong. And yeah, please forgive me if I'm totally wrong. I'll tell you why I say what I say. The EFF, they're fighting for Africa. They want free, they don't want borders in Africa. My question is this, are we there yet to open borders for every African? My answer is we are not ready. Africa is not ready to have borderless countries. Africa, I would say, we still need borders. Would that be nice to have free borders? Yes, but I don't think we are at Africa. We are not at the level where you can say Africa is ready for us to have free border. Because there's a lot of things that are happening in our countries. There's a lot of crime. You see, if there's one thing that Africa needs to sort out, before you can think of free border, let's just do as we please. It's crime, corruption, fraud, all of these things. We need to take care of them before you can open up the borders. You just cannot open up the borders now. Africa is not ready for that. We'll see more problems. Should those borders be open for everybody just to travel wherever they want to go in Africa with no control, I think we'll have more problems. There's too much problems that is going on in this Africa of ours. It will be a beautiful continent if we can achieve that, but we're not there. That's one of the things that made me not to vote for the EFF, because EFF, They are more of Pan-African. The problem with being Pan-African, it limits your mind, and you must even tolerate nonsense. Even when you don't like something, you cannot say this you don't like. If other, let's, for example, let's say other African countries are misbehaving, you cannot call them out. Because if you call them out, then you are no more Pan-African. There's no accountability. So we need to call each other out. When there's problems, we need to call each other out. But I don't think Africa is ready at the moment. So guys, I want to play you a couple of videos what do you call this? Yeah, I want to play you a couple of videos. Let me play you a couple of videos. But my question is this: is this the end of EFF, or is this a new chapter of EFF? Comment below if you think this is the end of EFF or this is a new chapter of EFF. Let me play you what Julius Malema, what he's been saying, guys. Let me play you this.
It was Martin Luther King Jr. who said in the United States, as they were confronted by the cruel regime of racism in that country, it was him who declared, open quote, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends, close quotes. Fellow fighters, as we face this testy moment in our movement and are confronted by betrayal of our struggle for economic freedom in exchange for personal gains, we must not bother ourselves about what our enemies are saying, but we must ask ourselves, why are those who claim to be our comrades silent? Why are those who are known and popular to be the most vocal on social media suddenly silent? Why are their voices when our movement is under attack? Where are those loud voices? Why do they not use their platforms to speak in defense of the EFF if they are truly loyal to this movement? It is our constitutional obligation to speak out and declare our confidence in this movement when those who were trusted with it chose to abandon it. However, comrade, if there are those amongst us who are to be ashamed to declare where they stand as we defend our movement, I'm willing to give you a simple task and go and look at what those closest to them are saying and how they are behaving. A leader of the EFF who is well known in the EFF, who's very popular in social media, on television, radio, and everywhere else. The EFF gets under attack. These leaders do not say anything, but because they don't know where they stand. But there is a practical way to find out where they stand. Just go and look at where their parents stand. Look at where their relatives stand. Look at where their spouses stand. You will know that those closest to them are speaking on their behalf because they whispered into their ears.
So, to be honest, listening to Julius, I don't think this is the end of it, guys. You can see he's speaking to certain people direct, even when he's not mentioning the names. He's speaking to them direct. And one of the people here is 100% speaking direct to Buiseni Ndlozi. You can hear that he's speaking about him. Yeah, and guys, expect Buiseni Ndlozi to be leaving very soon also. If he stays, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, guys. I think Buiseni Ndlozi, he will be leaving the EFF. And many more will be leaving the EFF because, yeah, you can see it's tough now. It is tough. It is tough. So expect many of them to be leaving. That's why I'm asking this question. It is the end of the EFF? Is this the new chapter of the EFF? Because we have seen many parties. Once they're richer, there's no going back. Once they're richer, there's no going back. We did not expect Floyd to resign from the EFF. It caught us by surprise. everybody is shocked what is happening to this party. And to be honest, I don't want to lie, a lot of young people love the EFF, but there's just one thing, guys, that it makes us, or many other people, maybe other people, they've got their own reason of supporting the EFF. If you look at what happened the last time on the stadium, when they had FNB, it was packed. You didn't expect the EFF to do something like that and come back and get 10% on the elections. Then you ask yourself, where are the people who were busy filling up the stadium? Where are the people? Why are they not voting for them? Who were those people who were there? You understand? And some will tell you, there are people speaking in the street to say, most of them probably they were foreigners who are not even eligible to vote. I don't know. Maybe you can comment below and tell us, what do you think? Because, yeah, I don't see the EFF coming back, to be honest, guys. I don't see, because Julius is saying so many things. And if sometimes he's not careful of what he's saying, many people will leave. Not because they want to leave, because of how he addressed them. That's my opinion, guys. I'm not saying I'm right on my opinion. I might be wrong on my opinion. But I think many people will leave the EFF. Look, I would have loved to vote for EFF. But the only one problem is that it seems the EFF, guys, don't get me wrong. We should love each other as African. But I still believe your country comes first before you start speaking about other countries. And EFF, they speak a lot about other countries. And they will allow other countries to do whatever they want to do in this country and not call them out. That's the only problem that I have with the EFF. Many things I agree with them, I don't want to lie. But I will not take my vote and give it to, because I know what crime and the things that are happening in our country, how it affects us at the bottom. How it affects us. So for that, I will not vote for the EFF. I must come out and say, I must be honest. Would I want to vote for the EFF? Of course, I would love to vote for the EFF. But until they put South African first, before you can put anybody else, there's nothing wrong loving your African brothers. We should love each other. But I believe that South Africa comes first. I cannot sit here and say other countries. The same thing with the DA. The DA are pushing their own agendas. They are pushing their own agendas. You know, I believe that the DA will sell this country to the European countries. They will sell this country to America. And we as black people will be pushed to the backseat. That's why I will not vote for them also. And I'm not trying to say, or the ANC has been perfect. The ANC has never been perfect. That is the truth. But what options do I have? What options do we have? What options do we have? We don't have much options. We don't have much options, to be honest. We don't have those much options. So we will do what we need to do. For example, on these past elections, I thought I'll vote for 3 parties: ANC, Action SA, and the EFF. But I changed my mind on the last minute. I didn't vote for the EFF because of these borderless things they're preaching every day. Because we are in South Africa, we are facing a lot of crimes. We're facing a lot of things that are happening into this country. And most of these crimes are committed by foreigners. I'm sorry to say that, but I must be honest. So if I vote for them, what's going to happen to this country? And look, guys, I'm not saying we should not love our African brothers. We should love each other as African people. We should support each other. But in this matter, my country comes first before I can think of anything else. Because we as South Africa, we don't have another country that we can run to. This is the only home that we have. Other people can come and do as much as they want to come and do in this country and disappear and go somewhere else, go back to their country. Even change, they don't have a problem even moving from one country to another country. We are more comfortable here back at home. Many South Africans will tell you, we are happy here at home. We don't like going and bother other people into their countries. So guys, let's move on. I don't want to speak a lot. Let's move on. Let's go to this next clip. Let's move on to the next clip.
How can someone say the decision to join Umkhonto weSizwe is the best decision ever taken? And my wife Mantra is the first one to like such a thing. And you say Julius Malema is with us. When the partner likes the things that seeks to denounce the organization and where the organization stands, where the relatives, where the cousins and siblings have declared where they stand, and you still ask yourself, where does this leader stand? Look at those around him and you will know where these leaders stand. Comrades, there is no one who must not declare their confidence in the EFF. Those who choose to be silent during the attack of the EFF, we must know them for being the silent enemies of our organization, and they must be treated as such. Comrades, do not make the mistake of choosing people tomorrow who are too ashamed to choose you today. You are too busy following other resignations, popularizing certain people that they must take over, yet they are silent when people decided to abandon you. Why can't they choose you? Why do you keep on choosing the people who never choose you when it is time for them to choose you?
To be honest, I really don't think Floyd will come back. I thought there was a room that Floyd will come back. What is going on already, I don't think Floyd will come back. I might be wrong, but yeah, it looks like now the fight has begun. It looks like the fight now has started. So, him posting that tweet, yeah, it is something else, guys. Wow. It is something else. And you can see Julius is not happy about it. He is not happy about it. You can see there's no coming back of Floyd to the EFF. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, please correct me. If you see there's a future for Floyd and Julius to come back together. I don't want to lie. Would we want to see them back together? Definitely, you understand, because I still believe there's a lot that together they can bring to this country. There's a lot, both of them, they can bring to this country. I hope Julius can focus more into South Africa, because I promise you, if Julius and the EFF can focus more in South Africa, no, there's nothing wrong supporting other African countries. Let's support other African countries, but there should be a limit. He's the only person, he's the only leader in Africa that I know of that speaks of borderless Africa. He's the only person who wants everyone to come to this country. Even in the EFF, I've never heard anybody else speak the way he speaks in terms of how the other countries should be coming to our country. And those people in their country, they're not speaking like that about us. They're not welcoming anybody. There's no one who speaks like him. There's no one who's calling foreigners to come to their countries. And I'm not saying we must not go, we should visit each other. There's nothing wrong of us visiting each other. There's nothing wrong waiting for Africa to work together. But there are people who comes to these countries to commit crimes. How are we going to deal with that? When we're trying to build Africa, people are busy destroying Africa. It becomes very difficult. So that's why sometimes I say a Pan-African can wait a bit. Let the Pan-African wait a bit. Let me focus in my country. Because I can guarantee you, if the EFF focus more about what's happening in this country, they'll get a lot of votes. But it's my opinion, guys. It's just my opinion. I believe the EFF can get a lot of votes, lots of votes, because many people love the EFF. But they can't vote for the EFF. You ask yourself, what's the problem? Why do they love you but they can't vote for you? Let's move on to the next clip.
I want to say to them, live now. Live now so that we can know how many soldiers we have in this struggle to liberate our people. You must live today, because nothing is going to change between now and December. Nothing is going to change now and in the future. The future looks bright because we determine it today. We are here to make our destiny for how the future looks like tomorrow. Live now. We have no reason to beg anyone. If you want to live, live now and leave us alone. Even if we are alone, we'll always continue to speak truth to power. It's very painful to count the soldiers you don't have.
Yeah, you can see Julius is angry, guys. I don't want to lie. He's angry. And a lot of people will leave. And lots of people will leave because of this statement. And I know some of them, they won't leave because they want to leave. Because sometimes you'll ask yourself, do I have a voice? Or do we have to only to listen to one person? Sometimes there must be compromise. There must be compromise. There must be compromise. It cannot be only one person show. There gotta be a compromise. What are you willing to compromise to build this EFF? Don't be shocked by tomorrow. Many people are still gonna leave. Many people are still going to leave. That's why I'm asking, is this the end of the EFF or is this the new chapter of the EFF? Because many parties will not come back. Many parties, if this is what's happened to many other parties, they will not come back. They will not recover from this. We'll sit and wait. We'll sit and wait because I feel Julius is chasing these people away. That's my opinion again, guys. I feel he's chasing them away. There are people who will listen to this and say, I don't need to be part of this. Is he right to say those who want to live, they must live? He's right at the same time. But I think it's a bit harsh. It is a bit harsh. He is right to say if you want to live, live now. Because it's better to live now than live December. He's right. But is there a way of dealing with this? Because some of these things, I think it should be dealt with behind closed door. Without the world watching this. Because the world will be judging those people who are going to be staying behind. Some things are meant for the boardroom. Let's continue listening to Julius.
You can't say you are a revolutionary activist and a fighter, yet you are xenophobic. You can't say you are an activist and a fighter, yet you hate your fellow Africans. Fighters, this is what made you join the EFF. This is what made you fall in love with the EFF. Why do you now look for individual validation for you to pursue that which you signed for? You said you are joining this organization voluntarily without any expectation of material benefit. Why can't you remind yourself of your own oath? Because you took an oath with your organization and the oath is binding on your conscience. All of a sudden, you think that the perspective of this organization should come from the social media. All of a sudden, what Twitter says about xenophobia about loving Africa and borderless Africa is what becomes your perspective. You forget why you joined the EFF. You follow that which is sponsored on Twitter. There is no branch of the EFF on Twitter or Facebook that has any right to declare on leadership question of the EFF or dictate to the EFF which direction you must take politically. If you are taking your guidance from the social media, you are a lost soldier. It means Elon Musk is your president, because Elon Musk controls Twitter. He can open as many accounts and tweet like these are the people who support the EFF, whereas they are sponsored accounts of the owner of Twitter. For a second, you must know that Elon Musk comes from South Africa. He's got interest here in South Africa. What stops him from manipulating a Twitter perspective to suit a perspective that will defend the status quo?
One thing I'll say, guys, I think in South Africa there's no xenophobic. It's just unfortunately South Africans are angry with the things that are happening in the country. There is no xenophobic in this country. We love our African people, we love our people, but some of them, to what they're doing to us, it's just not fair. You know, there are countries, guys, I've mentioned many countries that are not causing problems to, they're not causing no problem to us. And you don't see even any South African try to attack them or try to say anything about them. I told you, it's a country like Kenya. Kenya, they've never given us problem. There's a country like Ghana again. You know, I don't remember of anything that Ghanaian people have given us problem. There's a country like Botswana. I don't remember anybody from Botswana giving us problems. There's a country like Senegal. I don't remember Senegal giving us problem. There's so many other African countries that have never given us problems. You understand? So I don't think there's no xenophobic in this country. So don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. There's no xenophobic in this country. We are just sick and tired of the things that are happening in this country. Guys, let's move on to the next one, because you know what? Yeah.
Twitter sent you running when you defended that black child, whether she's Nigerian or not, and they even said to you, you must dare defend her. Her mother is fraud and everything else. All of you went into a cocoon because you responded to a sponsored view which said you must hate this black child. The mother is fraud. For a second you must love South Africans, and for a second you also doubted that there was a second where you never loved South Africans. You get told by Twitter, you get told by Twitter on what should happen in the EFF the following day.
So guys, he's talking about Chidima. Guys, we had a consent. We had a serious consent. We never hated on her. Unfortunately, people will twist it because they don't want you to speak. You cannot speak, because if you speak, you'll be labeled xenophobia. You cannot question because the person is black. Anything that's black, you must just accept it. This is the world that we're living in today. You must not hold each other accountable, because if you hold each other accountable, you are xenophobic. This case is still going on. There's new updates that are coming up. We have seen some of the videos. I haven't posted the videos, but I don't want to go too much. But I don't want to go deep into that. On my next video, I'll talk about it. But you have seen it, that the mother has committed identity fraud. The mother has committed identity fraud, and that's the truth, and that's the bottom of it. That is the truth, and that's the bottom of it. I think sometimes we are so quick to judge, even sometimes judge your own people. The problem with him is because he loved the Pan-African way of doing things. So even when people ask things that we should be asking, people are going to jump and calling South Africans xenophobic. And guys, there's no xenophobic in this country. There's no xenophobic in this country. Those who've been here in South Africa and those who are in South Africa, call them, ask them, how's the country? There's no such. Can we have our differences also with other foreign countries? Yes, we will have our differences. But can you say that's xenophobic? No. You argue with your sister, you argue with your mother, you argue with your father. Sometimes you don't even talk to your own sister. Is that xenophobic? It's not xenophobic. Fights happens all the time. Disagreements happens all the time. But we cannot be labeled as xenophobic. I think this is too much. Enough, it's enough. Enough, it's enough. And I think all South Africans feel the same. And those who think that we don't love African, come to South Africa and come and see yourself. Because it's not true. People can say whatever they want to say. They're saying the things to push their own agendas. This country is a very loving country, but this country must be respected. We want things in order. We like things that has order. We don't like things that doesn't have order. That's the only difference with many people are calling us those things. They don't love order. They don't love order. Guys, I don't want to make this video too long already. I can see it's too long. My name is Hlulani, the Tsonga priest. Let's meet on the next video, guys. I love you, I love you, I love you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you on my next video. I'll see you on my next video. Guys, please subscribe, share the video, share the video. Let's promote love in Africa. One love, man. Love you, man. Boom. See you on my next video. Sharp.